Alright troops, how's it going? So we're back from York. Fantastic day out. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, just it's great to take a day off from work just to go out on the hunt for affordable watches. Which I'm sorry to say, we got no affordable watches, but we did get something. And it's not this. So this is to avoid the previous Wolverine backgrounds. We now have the affordable watching episode log. So I can keep track of where we're up to. I figured it'd make a much nicer background than a picture of the Wolverine. So that's nice. Didn't come from today, but I found it in the house and I thought that'd be great. So we went all around York and we were looking for specifically either an affordable watch that I wanted or something a bit interesting. Now, I found watches I wanted, but nowhere near price-wise was it worth paying for them. The prices of various things you saw in that previous video were just outrageous for some. The Tory Burch, I think it was called, watch, I liked it, but not enough to buy it. Not enough for that price. It's very much when you go hunting for a watch, you're not looking for something in particular. So it's really just whatever's available you can pick and choose from. And I didn't want to pick something that was the best of a mediocre bunch. The best place was the Antique Centre in... the second one that I showed a video of, that had an entire cabinet just stacked with watches. But the problem was there were quite a few Russian watches that just didn't look nice enough to buy. I would have got one, but they were about 125, 165. I was not going to be paying anywhere near that price for those watches. They did have some Steel Dive and Addies Dive Pro Diver watches with cases. Now, they wanted £125 for those, and they are £45 at the most on AliExpress. So someone there is evidently just not buying vintage watches. They're just slinging any old thing in with a couple of AliExpress massively over markets, which is really unfortunate because I'd been there before. There were some really nice ones, especially some rotaries, and this time just wasn't good enough. There are various other watches throughout. The first antiques place I went to, I asked if they had any, and they had none. They had that Tissot that I got in the video, but that was way too overpriced for what it was for me to buy. But no, I've been around all the charity shops. I got a couple of tops for me, which is great. You know, on the Affordable Watching channel, we love affordability, and my house, my wife and I, we naturally will just try and buy clothes from charity shops to save landfill and ultimately save money as well. Why would you buy something brand new for £60 when you can pay £10, which is what I've done with a quarter zip today. That's £50 that I can now put towards something else, which will no doubt be buying another watch. So I'm in an hour and about getting some watches on AliExpress. I've got one on the way, and I'm thinking, because today was a bit of a bust and we still have some budget left, maybe some AliExpress after a glass or two of gin and tonic, we might be brave enough to buy something. But I'm going to tell you what I actually did buy. And it's this. It is a Design Philip watch jewellery box. Now, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Bit of a... There we go, look at that. But, why did I get this? Well, I've run out of spaces for watches. Plain and simple. And I now need something to put watches in. So it was £20. Now, I don't think that's too bad. I've looked the specs up on this online. £20 is about right. But what I like about this is this top bit comes away. So this is where I'll put the watches. I will... don't know what that is. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to build maybe some cross sections like I did on I've got with the wooden box. I'll put something together that I can cross section it off nicely. But this is, I think, really pretty. It's got like a lovely velvet texture in the middle. This doesn't come out at all. I think you could probably, if you got like some watch rolls, maybe that would probably be better. I think you'd probably get 4 and then 4 to 8 watches in there. And even then, if you didn't get 8, I mean, you could probably get 10. Let's use this for frame of reference. Yes, today I took the Naviforce, definitely not an Aviate. I wanted something very comfortable today, and this has done the job. It's been brilliant. And if you were to go 1, 2, 3, yeah, I think you'd get 8 watches in total, which is, you know, more than what I need at the moment. I think we're only literally at the point of the next watch that arrives will need a case. So yeah, that suits me down to the ground. So even if I don't get a watch this evening, I can get some of those. It will need a clean up. It's been used, but I've got the facilities to give this a really nice clean. I don't know if this is leather. I've got a feeling this probably isn't leather. There we go. There's a scuff there. What do we think on that? No, that's not leather at all. That's a PVC. Yeah, stick on. But that's fine. That means it's easier to clean. But overall, that's a nice solid box. And then obviously you get this inside as well. So I've got various bits and pieces. I've got a necklace. I've got my wedding ring. I very rarely wear my wedding ring at home. Just not a big ring wearer, so I could probably put that in there. And it's just a nice little case, really. But for £20, you know, I can't say I'm blown away with it, but I can't say it's bad. It's just for £20, 2 excellent watch cases. And I was going to go to Lidl on the way home and buy one of theirs, which would have been about £8-9. Probably, you know, just a common or garden watch case. Nothing special. But no, I'm happy today. I really am. And the thing is, I did over 10,000 steps, which it was just all over York. I went back and forth. I went to every shop I wanted to, bar one, but they were closed, and there's no help in that. And they were supposed to be open, said Google, but they weren't open, sadly, which is, I want to say it's a shame. I got everywhere else done. I'm disappointed that the antique centres weren't as watch orientated. In the video, you will see there is I managed to get a little glimpse of it as I passed through. There was a red Tressa Lux. Now, I really did like that. Bit too out of the price range for what I was wanting, but I do have a case for a Tressa, and I bought it years ago, and the watch was completely kaput. Does not work. The stones on the dial had all fallen off. The lettering was all hickledy-pickledy. It was a mess of a watch, but I did like it, and I thought about doing something with it. And I still do like that case, so I might be able to buff it up and find something to go within it. But no, it's just one of those things that there were lots of watches for things like Seconda, which there was a Seconda. It was green and gold, and I didn't get it, but it's like their deluxe variant, and I was going so close to buying it, and it's £45, so it's within the affordable watching aspect. However, I went and had my Wetherspoons lunch and Googled it. Yeah, £29 on their website, so I'd have lost 15 quid. And again, it's nice, but not enough for the thing I'd want it for. I'd wear that for formal things, and I've got much nicer formal watches. It would be bought to be the 5th place in a collection, so that wasn't going to happen. There were lots and lots of unusual, I wouldn't say unusual names to be seeing all over the place. Citizen, there were a lot of shops selling Citizens, Bulliver, Seiko. Casios were everywhere. Every watch shop had Casios, and I'm just not that into them. I'm just not a big Casio fan to want to get one. Again, Seikos as well. I have a few Citizens, but I kind of like the ones I've got. I don't think I'd be looking for more of them. There were obviously the very nice shops like Rolex, Breitling, Tudor, Omega. I'm just not going to get one of those, am I? Not on the spur of the whim. And aside from that, no, all the charity shops just had your very, very standard procedure, the very, very cheap watches that they do, unbranded quartz movements. The Klaus Quebec, which was in one of the first shops that I saw, I was umming and ahhing about that, but that was £60. And online it is around £60. But it doesn't do enough for £60 to make it worthwhile. It's a nice watch and I like the dial, but I didn't like the case. And there just wasn't enough of that feeling that, oh, I'm just going to spend 60 quid on it. Maybe if it was 20, yeah, I'd pay the money for that. 40, but 60, no, not at all. So no, that's been my day out in York. So as I say, tonight, still going to have a couple of gin and tonics to celebrate my day off. Going to clean these up. And as I say, pop on the AliExpress, have a look and see if I can get something else to start popping them in these. If you like the video, then drop me a like. Let me know in a comment, have you ever been to York? Did you buy a watch there? Very niche, but I'd love to know. It's somewhere I went on my honeymoon. I got married and then my wife and I went straight on the train to York for our evening honeymoon hotel dinner and all that malarkey, which was a lovely day out. Weather was perfect. And yeah, I would have bought a watch then as well, but I'd already bought a watch quite a week ago or so before, so maybe not the best time to have bought one. And obviously, if you like the idea of following for affordable watching, give us a subscribe. Would love to have you along for the ride. As I say, I like going on days out, and I will try and do more of these. I think my next one will be Whitby, because Whitby is a great place to go if you're looking for an antique watch. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.